What's up, man?
What's going on? How you doing?
N- Not too much. We're just gonna do this. How's it going? What's up, bro? Like like not, just take two. Pretend that the last Zoom that we did wasn't didn't get recorded because we live in a fallen world, Orwellian nightmares. Super stoked to tour with you guys, man.
Yeah, long time coming. It's fucking perfect.
It is fucking perfect. I'm going to say it again. The first line on my notes is been wanting this tour to happen for years now, and now it's finally fucking happened. And that's the truth. Like, we've had so many opportunities to tour with you guys, probably three. And every time you guys, something popped up, some other tour, whatever popped up for us. So we're truly honored to be touring with you guys, and it's going to be a pisser to boot. Like, when you can tour with a band that you love their music, there's nothing better, you know?
Yeah, it's great. And it's going to be a good crossover with the fans and shit too. So
Yeah.
it's gonna rule.
Speaking of crossover, we need to do another video. Like I said earlier, we need to do a thrash grass versus trash grass. That made me belly laugh when you said the Street Fighter thing, because that's exactly
Yeah,
like round one, fight.
I know.
Trash grass versus trash grass. That'll be a good tour video. We'll do that on tour. Like, we'll get a shot of you guys and then a shot of us, and then get like you mean mugging the camera, and like close up of you, close up of me, and then we just fist fight. We actually fight. Trash versus trash. Who's the king
Yeah.
of grass?
Hell yeah.
Can you introduce the audience to the friend that I had the pleasure of meeting, Chuck?
Yeah,
That's,
that's Chuck. He's
that's he's a good boy.
I don't know how tall he is, 12 foot.
12. Yeah. He would not. Like, we have 11-foot ceilings in the studio, and he would not fit. We wouldn't fit.
Yeah.
He's a big fucker. And then we've got Greenie back there, which you just painted today, if I'm not mistaken. Oh,
Yeah.
now the question is, are you bringing Chuck on tour, and are we going to use him as a stage prop?
Yeah, we should. Just slap him on the van.
Yeah, just like toast, like ratchet strap him to the top of the van. I mean, shit. We're just coming up with video ideas now at this point. All right, so I found out through our conversations that both of our groups are Deering artists, and I wanted to give another shout out to Deering. We love Jamie and Chad. Favorite banjos, but I've got my six string there, and then Jake plays exclusively Deering. Love that company. Super cool finding out that you play them as well. You play amazing clawhammer, and I don't know
Right.
how you do it. And we were talking about earlier about music theory, and how he said if anything music theory related comes to you, you don't, you just goes right by. And then, like, I'm like, hold on a sec. I went to school. I got a degree in music, and then in music theory, and then I picked up a 5-string banjo, and it's like a drunk toddler. How come how come the high strings, but up on top, that doesn't make any sense. And so it shows you how much theory helps. I guess with playing the banjo, it's a wonder. And the clawhammer style, so cool. Do you have any influences as far as like clawhammer banjo?
Honestly, it's all friends that taught me.
I love
traveling
that.
and stuff. I started playing the 3-finger style. Yeah. And a buddy of mine, Kevin. So years and years ago, me and my buddy Matt founded this band called Yes Ma'am. And back then, I was just doing flat pick on the banjo because the 3-finger wasn't like a full enough sound, And
Yeah,
my buddy Kevin kind of showed me clawhammer, and I picked it up and just been stuck with it ever since. So
it's awesome.
I like it. It's a much fuller sound, and then
It's so unique too. It's like a unique sound. Jake does clawhammer, I think, for one song. called Waco. On this tour we're doing. I didn't tell you this earlier, so we're playing our full record, like in full, like the whole thing, and then a couple of the classics. And I got to ask you now, being a Tejon fan myself, I've got to ask: are you guys playing my personal favorite? Are you playing 44? Can I ask that?
Yeah, we'll be playing that. We've got some new stuff we're going to be doing. So yeah, we'll play 44 and then a few of the other classic Tejons, and then we're in the process of working on a record too. So we're going to introduce some of those songs.
Yeah, you've got a studio session this week. You're recording this week. Is it a full record, full LP?
Yeah, I think I've got 10 tracks, but one of the tracks is it's a cover digital single, so I don't have to go through the hoops of putting it on vinyl and paying them royalties and shit. Because if you just do it a digital Spotify, they'll take care of all that. So we'll see. It'll at least be 9 tracks, might be 10. We'll see.
Hell yeah, that's a good number. I always think of Metallica, like Master of Puppets. It's like 8 songs. Do you have a process with like album order? Do you guys obsess over that, like the songs, how they flow into each other? Is there like what's your thought on that? Like, I always have the hardest time with what's the first song and what's the last song. Like, what do you give them up top, and then what do you leave them with? Like, do you guys have a process for that when you're making records?
Yeah, mostly we kind of piece it together as it goes. We usually, when we're writing, we have like a kind of an idea of how we want it to go. But it's kind of the same as our set. Like when we play, I like to have what I call is like the bangers, like the songs that I know, tried and true. People are going to get fucking hyped up about them,
Yeah.
And I like to, if we have more of an emotional song or a slower song, do the slow thing and then follow up with something that's super hype.
Yeah, exactly. Just like if you bring it down, it's tough for some crowds. Like when there's rowdier crowds, which both our bands have, like it's sometimes you feel like, is it too much to bring it down here? But you got to have the dynamics in the set, and
right.
I'm like, you guys are doing a 40-minute, right? Which I don't think is enough for a Tejon concert, but we were talking about set lists and how on like certain tours when we were doing support tours, and it's like doing a 25-minute set is wild, dude. I think for our first tour, like our first bigger support tour with Gwar, we had a 20-minute set. So it was like it was 4 songs. It was crazy. We're like thinking, man, do we have like a punk song, like a minute and a half tune that we could squeeze in, and we just don't. It was like 20 minutes. Talk about a set flying by,
Yeah, it's nuts, and that's definitely something that's more. I notice in like the punk and the metal scenes where they'll do that, 20, 25-minute sets. But for the stuff we're doing, I don't know. I guess I don't know what it is. For some reason, bluegrass roots, Americana kind of shit. It almost seems like you got to go 40 minutes or longer.
Absolutely, and you want to give them like the bangers, as you said. Like we know that we're gonna play Thunderhead. But we want to bring some dynamics in, and we want like the set to flow, kind of like an album. Like it's almost like coming up with a set list. Like you said, or rather like a track listing of a record. Like what are you gonna hit them with up top, and what's the last song? I'm excited to see. I also want to hear "Smoking Is Cool" for obvious reasons. Because I want to feel like a cool kid, which I never was and never will be. I also want to hear "Love Pilot." I love that song, and I love that music video. Like even though our music isn't identical, obviously, we have a one letter difference in our genres, which is pretty funny. And we both like came up with the genre names, so that's pretty like that would be wild if like it was like on the same day somehow. We were like, yeah, what, like just in all separate universes. Like, yeah, something like trash grass or something. Years ago when I heard you guys for the first time, and immediately when I heard your music, wanted to tour with you, I heard Trash Grass, and I was like, get the fuck out of here. There's no way. There's someone out. There's no way we play Thrash Grass and someone else plays Trash Grass. So, like we said, Mortal Kombat or / Street Fighter video happening on tour. And
Hell yeah.
Shout you guys, shout of us. Who's your favorite, thrash or trash? Thrash versus trash.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of thrash, you guys are working on. Can I ask about Thrashers? Because when we talked on the phone, we both I found out we both share a love for skating, and the only reason I stopped skating was because I got my first guitar. And tell me about Thrashers. I'd love to hear the story of that.
Yeah, my wife's been managing a punk dive called the Triple Nickel for the past, like 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we've gotten to the point where we're like, all right, we're going to open our own bar. That's kind of where that career path leads. You can't be a bartender forever. So her and we both grew up like punk metalheads, skateboarding, and just like, your average 90s kids with fucking ADHD. And so we're like, yeah, dude, let's make it a skate punk bar. Live music, fucking skate punk bar.
So where's the half pipe? Where's the half pipe going? And is it a 4-footer or a 6-footer?
Honestly, I think I'm probably going to start with a 2-foot quarter pipe on the patio and see if I get sued.
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there.
I knew that you'd actually be putting one in too. People thought that was a facetious question. I knew. I love, dude. The biggest one, the biggest half pipe I ever dropped in was a 6-footer, and it was just like, it's so scary to like just be resting on the lip, and then it's like just full immersion. Like if you don't fully commit, you're gonna fall on your ass. Like just straight down.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
It's terrifying. I was loving the. I don't know if you were a purveyor of the Tony Hawk games, but there's like the extra videos that you win when you like beat the whole game with different characters.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a video of somebody had just like a 3-foot. It was like a 2 or a 3-foot half pipe. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen. I've always wanted to have one.
Yeah.
Just to have that, just like that, just a 2-footer where if you fell, it's not that big a deal,
Yeah. I mean, that's the shit. I built like a 3-foot one in the backyard over COVID. And
did you really?
Yeah. Quickly learned. I'm like, man, I'm fucking 6'4", 300 pounds now. Back in junior high school when I was 180 pounds, I could actually do that shit. But now
you're 6'4". That's a tall skater, You see, like, I'm 6 feet, and I feel like I always felt like it was usually like smaller guys I skated with, and they're so freaking nimble, like they just rip, and then it's like big tree fall hard,
right.
when I go down, it wasn't pretty. Yeah. And then do you bring boards on tour? Because I think I'm going to start bringing I'm not going to bring my Element deck because I can't. I'm not going to. I'm not going to do a kick flip and break my wrist halfway through tour. But I'm thinking about bringing my longboard again. I'm thinking about bringing a longboard on tour.
Yeah.
Do you guys do you bring boards on tour?
Sometimes I do. I'll throw mine in the van. Just for this tour, I'll bring one.
Yeah, I can't believe we didn't think of that. We've got to do a skate video. Just both of us just falling and busting our faces. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I skated for years and played football and jumped off buildings when I was younger. So I think, what are you allowed? Like, I think it's 34 concussions before you're considered legally insane.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you probably hit that. That's why you're musician.
Exactly. There you go. That's why I'm still a touring musician, because I'm clinically insane from the amount of concussions that I've had. Yeah, we're going skating for sure. You have a new single that might possibly be coming out, and you told me it might be coming out the day before we start tour, or the day we start tour.
It's that Friday, so I can't remember if we start our first shows on Thursday or Friday, but it's whatever. It would be.
We're in Ferndale, Michigan.
June 7th, I think, is that Friday?
It's the 6th, because I think we start on the 5th in Ferndale. You're going to be in our neck of the woods in Ferndale, Michigan, which is like well, I guess I shouldn't I guess I shouldn't say anything negative about the first city that we're playing. All in jest. I love Ferndale, but it's funny that we're cut our teeth in Detroit, but our recording studio that I'm in right now is about 45 minutes north of Detroit, in the middle of the forest, like Leonard, Michigan, population 400 people. And then we usually play in Detroit, but we're playing in Ferndale, which is probably like a good midway. It's like Detroit light, or like Diet Detroit.
Okay.
Hell
yeah.
Okay, so your single will be coming out, if it's the Friday, it'll be on the 6th. And that's going to be awesome to hear that. Can you tell me the name of it and anything about it?
Yeah, it's called Oh My God. It's probably going to be the focus track of this record. At least one of the focus tracks, but it's a fast paced, it's a fun song, man. And we kind of tested it, started playing it live last month. We did a little run, and I think we had a good reception. I'm just stoked to play it. It's fun to play, and it's fun to see people's reactions to it. I think everyone's digging it, so it's good mood boost, and I'm stoked to play for everyone.
Yeah, being a Tejon fan, I'm excited. I'm just excited to hear it. Like I said earlier, we've loved your guys' music for years. Before I even heard the trash grass term, I just heard, obviously, because we run in somewhat similar veins and tours. I always see you guys. We couldn't tour with you, and then I'd always see we were on the same circuit 2 weeks apart. I would be like, Tejon was here I'm like, God damn, Tejon was here 2 weeks before we get to this place, or you guys are here in 3 days after us. I'm like, God, well, the stars finally aligned. We're finally doing the damn thing, Yeah, man, I'm just, we're all super happy that this is finally happening. It's been a long time coming, and yeah, it's going to be, I really think, like you said, I think there's going to be a good fan crossover. And I know for sure that Howlers are going to love that. If they haven't heard of you, are going to love you guys. And I can only hope the same for Tejon fans coming out and seeing the Howl. I think it's going to be, it's like the perfect mix, It's like, thrash grass and trash grass,
Hell yeah, dude.
Well, dude,
I don't know. They're gonna dig it.
Yeah, they're gonna dig it, and we're gonna have a bunch of fun. Super stoked that we solidified. We're gonna skate. I think I'm gonna dig out my 1973 Hill Bulldog board with original Tony Alva wheels on it. If anybody's a Lords of Dogtown fan out there, most people will know what the fuck I'm talking about, as they usually don't. But yeah, man, it's and you mentioned the last thing, favorite tour pastimes, and you had told me you were somewhat of a fisherman, yeah.
Yeah, I bring our rod everywhere we go. It's in the van, so all about it.
Yep, Chan's a fisherman as well. Like I said, that's our going to be our Primus cover. Chan the fisherman. When I go, I want to be. Well, maybe we'll have to throw a little band mashup cover on the tour. By the end of it, we've got to get you playing Clawhammer on something, or we'll have to do some kind of crossover. That'll be by the end of tour. We'll have something,
Hell yeah, yeah, that's awesome. I'm into it.
I really appreciate you taking the time to do this, brother. And more than anything, from the Howl, thank you and the rest of the guys in Tejon for coming out with us. You know, it's like I said, we've wanted to tour with you guys for years, and so stoked that it's finally happening. And on our album release tour, we're like honored to have you guys. So thank you, man.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for the invite, dude. I mean, it's a perfect match, and we're really fucking excited.
Hell yeah, it is perfect. It is a perfect match, and we are fucking excited as well. So with that, I'm gonna bid you adieu and thank you for your time, brother. And we'll be seeing you on June 5th in our neck of the woods. Hopefully, at some point we can make some time for you guys to check out our recording studio down the line one of these days. You know.
Yeah, that'd be kick ass, man.
Hell yeah, brother. Well, I appreciate it, and yeah, we'll be seeing you June 5th for the Sons of Destruction tour, Tejon Street Corner Thieves, and the Native Howl hitting the road finally for our album release tour. Fucking stoked. Thanks, man. And we'll talk to you down the line, all right?
Fuck yeah, we'll see you there.
All right. Thanks, brother. We'll see you soon.
All right, later, man.
Later. Bye, everybody.